It's hot out there, but let's blow off the line of scrimmage.
Headline, Los Angeles.
This is Ramview, the November 29th, 2025 edition, brought to you by Kistler Law Firm. Injured in an auto accident? Need help? Call Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. That's Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. And check out KistlerLawFirm.com. That's KistlerLawFirm.com. One word. Kistler Law, they've been fighting for you since 92. And by Temple City Auto Repair, having some auto issues, get yourself some John and Henry at TempleCityAutoRepair.com. And of course, a new sponsor of the show is Sports Ball Games. Make game day funner for you and your crew. Play sports ball, played for a hill of beans or just jelly beans. Interesting here. I'm having an issue here with some of our technological stuff. Everything seems to have died on me. More importantly, my Kistler Law app has died. Let me see. Let me give it a hand here. It's Saturday morning. No one's watching because of the holidays. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, there we go. Kistler Law. All right. We got it in there. Kistler Law. Be sure to check out that QR code. They are our chief sponsor. We'll talk to Restream about why that thing didn't work. There we go. Okay, so Rams have made moves. Atwell and Witherspoon designated to return. McVay says he expects them to play, and yet they haven't been officially activated or designated yet. So that's the part that's got me kind of curious in terms of their status. They said they're going to play, but they're only been designated to play or designated to return. They have not been officially activated. Cam Kitchens and Poona Ford are the key guys listed as questionable. Otherwise, this team is looking good. The Rams have put Josh Carty in the street. I don't think he's been claimed yet, so it wouldn't surprise me to see if he's given another shot on the practice squad, or maybe you see him in the spring. But, if this guy goes the whole offseason without being signed, it means nobody has interest. I kind of like Carty. I think he was a victim of circumstances. Did he get to kick with Jake McQuaid? He didn't. Rams made a total change, and it's worked out for Harrison Mevis, so that's cool. Everything seems to be working out. So love Josh Carty, but if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be. Rams have brought back Darian Kendrick. They put the claim in. We talked about him being waived. We were off the air when the Rams claimed him, and so he's back in uniform. He is a slot guy. They put Roger McCreary on the IR. They originally said he was okay, and now they put him on the IR. Darian Kendrick has had a lot of work in the slot position, and they've brought in Nick Vanette as another tight end. McVay's collecting tight ends like John Gruden used to collect quarterbacks. And, of course, you look at the Panthers right now. J.C. Horn has been ruled out. Trevor Moehrig, their slot guy, defender, is out. And, of course, Christian Roseboom was put on the IR. I think this game looks really good for the Rams. If the Panthers are smart, they'll try to pound the ball, keep it out of the hands of Bryce Young, because I think the Rams are going to eat him up. Bryce Young is mobile, but the Rams are used to chasing after Kyler Murray types. I don't think Bryce Young is that scary to the Rams, and I think they should limit their exposure to the defense with Bryce Young. So I do like the Rams in this one, and I'm going to go big on this one since I got nothing to lose. Steeler fan Rob is here, trying to. He is a closet Cowboy fan. Don't let anyone tell you different. He says he's a Steeler boy. I knew the guy 40 years ago. He was a Cowboy fan, but I went 1-3 this weekend. The only team that I chose that would win would be the Cowboys. So I got nothing to lose. So I'm taking the Rams big in this one. I'm taking the Rams 42-17. There you go. Lock it down. Rams 42, Panthers 17. And now Steeler fan Rob, who is scared to death right now of what the Bills are going to do to him on Sunday. All right, guys, we missed meeting on Friday again. Holidays, everything going on, but just a couple of things there. The Lions lost to the Packers. They also lost Frank Ragnow, who was supposed to come back out of retirement. He failed his physical. But that Packers-Lions game, I said if Micah Parsons played well, I would get off my Micah Parsons bashing. Micah Parsons played well. If he makes you happy, great. But, the final score to that Packer-Lions game was 31-24. Packers had their best offensive game of the year. And I put this one on the Lions. They didn't get any help for Aiden Hutchinson. I don't care about Marcus Davenport coming back. They didn't get any help, and let alone now that their offensive line is hurting. That game was only a one-touchdown game, and the Packers are supposed to be the greatest team since sliced bread. I'm not sold. I'm just not sold on the Packers completely just yet. But if Micah Parsons make Packer fans happy, great. Let Micah Parsons make Packer fans happy. I'm not sold. If the Rams don't have to go to Lambeau, I don't fear them. Chiefs at Cowboys. I took the Cowboys over the Chiefs. I was rooting for the Chiefs. Cowboys won 31-28. And now suddenly, after Friday's game, the NFC East is suddenly wide open and in play because the Cowboys are playing and the Eagles are collapsing. And so Cowboys won 31-28. You can't rule out the Chiefs. Cowboys are doing what they need to do. They're 6-5-1. They're taking advantage of the moment. I don't think they're a great team, but they're a hot team right now. And they got nothing to lose because nobody expected anything. Bengals at Ravens. This was Steeler fan Rob's wet dream. Lamar Jackson got old. That's what it is. No one wants to talk about it. This injury, that injury. Lamar Jackson looks old, and he doesn't have the arm talent or the passing skills to overcome the loss of his legs. He's mobile still, but he's not that home run hitter, right? He's not that guy that's going to go yard on any play. And guess what that makes Lamar Jackson? Vulnerable. Even to the Bengals defense, we got the answer to the question. What happens when the team with no defense plays a team with no offense? And we saw that, and it was the team that with no defense that won. Bengals are only 2 games back of the Ravens, and if the Steelers lose to the Bills, they're only 2 games off the pace in the AFC North. Isn't that weird? Jackson looks old. Pittsburgh is limited, and Burrow is the best quarterback in the division, which means as people start to believe, the Bengals will get to within a game, and Burrow will probably go down with an injury, just as it always seems to work out. And then yesterday, Bears at Eagles, Chicago 24-15. I said it could turn into a coming out party, and it did turn into a coming out party. The Philly defense got pushed around for another week. Second week in a row, it got pushed around. Eagles can't run, and Jalen Hurts is getting exposed. I thought it was interesting that they highlighted the missed and open receivers that Hurts didn't get the ball to. And you're beginning to understand that maybe A.J. Brown's not the greatest teammate around, but you're beginning to understand that, hey, you know what? These guys are frustrated because they're getting open, right? They're getting open, and Hurts is not seeing them. And I'm kind of curious if that's Hurts' biggest issue. He just doesn't see the field. I don't think it's this year. I still think the Bears could be vulnerable, but the Bears will be contending in 2026 if everything stays on track. So, yeah, that was some interesting games. I took the Eagles at home because they're the world champs. When it was 10-9, I thought Bears have screwed around long enough. They had a chance to put this team away, and they didn't do it. So I was wrong on the Eagles. I was wrong on the Ravens, and I was wrong on the Lions. And I was right on the Cowboys of all teams. And so not a great start to the week for me. I do like the Rams, 42-17 over the Panthers. They don't have a pass rush. They're down 2 of their key performers in their secondary. So what are you going to do, right? And this team is loaded with former Rams, who the Rams felt like they can do without. So I do like the Rams. If there's a game as this week has gone on that I started feeling more comfortable about, and then seeing Bryce Young play, really a full 4 quarters this year. Yeah, I like the Rams in this game 42-17. I hope it's that way. I hope it's 59-17. But Rams should win 42-17. 49ers at Browns. I am taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns at home. There's supposed to be weather. I think the 49er train is about ready to come to an end. I just think so. If the Browns can beat the Packers at home, why can't they beat the 49ers at home with that defense? Texans at Colts. Colts look like Tyler Warren is going to be questionable for Sunday. And so that's another weapon. Daniel Jones has a broken leg. Texans have a ferocious pass rush. Yeah, I'm going with the Texans in Indy. Saints at Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins in this one. Dolphins are hot. Saints are not. Saints are playing for Fernando Mendoza. Falcons and Jets. We're rooting for the Jets, but I'm taking the Falcons. Cardinals at Buccaneers. Should Baker Mayfield be playing? Doesn't it surprise you a little bit that Baker Mayfield is listed as questionable and possibly playing? Honestly, if the Tampa Bay is thinking about the rest of their season, they got to be able to beat the Cardinals, right? That should be the game they give Baker Mayfield off and let him get healthy. Baker Mayfield will play through anything. I think we've learned that in his last year in Cleveland. Why would you do that? That was an awful scene last week when he should have been out of the game before halftime against the Rams. I would not put him back out there. Play the game against the Cardinals. Find out if you're a legit team. If you can't beat the Cardinals without Baker Mayfield, then maybe everyone was wrong, including me, about Tampa Bay. But Baker Mayfield shouldn't play. Jaguars at Titans. Titans still in pole position to get that first-round pick and then deal it for a buttload of draft picks. Jaguars are going to get the win here. Vikings at Seahawks. Yeah, when your quarterback is not playing the way you want him to play, you say he's in concussion protocol, which the Vikings have done again with J.J. McCarthy, and the Seahawks are going to roll them at Lumen Field. Raiders at Chargers. Yeah, Chargers, please, right? Yeah. Omarion Hampton's been designated to return. Bills at Steelers. I went back and forth on this one because the Steelers have a pass rush. Bills can't stop anybody. But I'm going to go with Josh Allen in this one. I'm going to go with Josh Allen, and I'm going to love to see Steeler fan Rob squirm and get all upset when the Bills go into, what is it called now? It's not Heinz Field anymore. Whatever it's called. They go in there and they beat the Steelers. Steelers, Ravens, 6-6 by the time this weekend is over, and the Bengals at 4-8, 2 games back. Sunday night, Broncos at Texans. Blowout, we're going Broncos. Monday, Giants at Patriots. You know, you'd think the NFL would start flexing out some of these games at this point, right? Move the Steelers Bills to Sunday night because I don't think anyone's going to want to watch the Giants and Patriots, especially if Jackson Dart's not playing. So anyway, I'm a little uptight since I got humiliated this weekend, 1 win, 3 losses in my picks. So there you go. Going back to the Rams in this one, you know, you're just looking at this roster right now. The Rams just keep loading up, and they're doing all this manipulating. I think bringing in Darian Kendrick was a really good move. Whatever. I'm kind of curious why Seattle moved off of him. I don't know if Kendrick had some attitude. I don't know what it was, but he is a veteran guy. He's got experience, and they moved off of him. And I know they're pretty deep up there in that position, but they put him in the street. They put him on waivers. Maybe it was a numbers game, but I'm glad the Rams got him back. The Rams obviously liked him. The Rams feel like that if he has any attitude issues, they can control it. And now you got Kobe Durant and Darian Kendrick back with Darius Williams, Emmanuel Forbes, and the potential return of Ahkello Witherspoon. And I'm taking correction from anybody out there. They've been designated to return, but I haven't seen them activated. So when Witherspoon comes in there, that'll really add some serious depth to this cornerback room. Let's not forget Josh Wallace out there. Steeler fan Rob, Tim Burns was 0-4. Yeah, it was a rough weekend for Tim Burns. You got to give Tim Burns, some space here because he agreed with me on everything except for Cowboys Chiefs, right? Cam Kitchens was it Cam Kitchens is a little bit banged up. He's listed as questionable. But you got Cam Curl, you got Jalen McCullough. I think we're comfortable there in that safety room. And, of course, Josh Carty is gone, right? Josh Carty is gone. Harrison Mevis has the kicking position locked up. And Rams are looking pretty solid right now. Manuel Vasquez, Rams need to take advantage of a depleted defense and just put them away early. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I have never really been a Bryce Young fan. I mean, in college, okay, no issues there. But when you see him in the NFL, man, it's brutal to watch. It really is. And how would I feel if the Rams lost? As mad as I was in that Dolphin game. That Dolphin game last year was the standard for me in terms of being upset. And so the Rams shouldn't lose this game. And here's the funny thing when you look at what's happening with the Rams right now is, the Rams are winning. Eagles are 8-4, so the Rams could put the Eagles 2 games off the pace. But look at this, the Bears are 9-3. You don't want to mess around. I think the Rams are a better team than Chicago, but the Rams have never really played well in Chicago. You don't want to go to Chicago in the snow, right? I don't want to go to Chicago in the snow. Even though I trust Matthew Stafford, I don't trust everybody else, right? I don't want to go to Chicago in the snow. They're 9-3 right now. So that is a team to keep an eye on in terms of just home field advantage. And the Packers, too. Packers are, 8-3-1? I don't think the Packers are great, but you get them at Lambeau, and then they become a bit of a problem. So you're right, Manuel. The Rams need to come out, take care of business, get the wins that they should be getting. Keep chipping away at the wins they should be getting. They should pick up the win this week and get their what it would be, their 10th win. They should pick up the win next week against the Cardinals and get their 11th win. And then the way it's trending for the Lions right now on December 14th, that's not looking too good for the Lions coming to LA. And then the next Rams serious challenge would be week 16 against the Seahawks. So, the Rams just need to chip away and keep picking up these victories, bank them, because you don't want to have to go certain places here, right? You just don't want to have to go. The Seahawks, after they get the Vikings, they get the Falcons, they get the fading Colts, right? And then they finish with the Panthers and the 49ers. So, Seahawks are going to keep winning. The Seahawks are going to keep winning. And so if you want to get that home field advantage, and I just want it just so I don't think there's a home field advantage. I just don't want to be in the weather. Rams don't have serious fans to make this a home field advantage. Let's see here. Manuel Vasquez. McVay said he does expect. I saw that, Manuel. But don't they have to be activated? They're designated to return. Their 21-day window is open, but I have not seen them act. Don't they have to be activated? Because then you got to make some roster decisions, don't you? If they come back. So I'm just curious. I could be wrong. On that. I hope I am, because I'd love to see them both out there. And again, I'd love to see Atwell running some streaks going out there. All right, let's keep rolling here.
It was a stone groove, my man.
All right. I know it's going to be a shorter show, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this holiday edition here. Hey, November 29th, 31 years ago today, the Rams waived TJ Rubley, who was a 9th-round pick in 1992 out of Tulsa. Rubley was 6'3", 212. He ended up starting 7 games for the Rams in 93. He had 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, threw for 1,300 yards. He was kind of fun to watch because everyone was out on Jim Everett at that point. Everything was falling apart for the Rams. But the next year, the Rams waived him in 1994. Remember, the Rams had brought in Chris Miller, the former Falcon, former Oregon Duck. And he ended up becoming a Green Bay Packer in 95. And he ended up playing against the Vikings because both Brett Favre and Ty Detmer got injured in the game. And this was the famous story about TJ Rubley, is the The Packers and Vikings were tied 24-24 with less than a minute to go. And the Packers with the ball on the Vikings 38-yard line. It was 3rd and 1, and Mike Holmgren called for a quarterback sneak. It was probably 3rd and a half yard, right? Rubley at 6'3", 212, easily could have negotiated that quarterback sneak. But Rubley, the only remaining quarterback on the roster, audibled out of Mike Holmgren's call, and he called a rollout. He passed the ball, and it was intercepted, giving Minnesota the ball and eventually the win. After the game, Holmgren commented, "I called a quarterback sneak. He changed the play." And he says he thought he had a choice, which is when you're the 3rd string quarterback, you never have a choice, right? The Packers GM said, "I can't believe it." And Rubley himself said, "Yeah, it wasn't a good decision." And of course it wasn't, because later that week he was cut. And here's the interesting thing about TJ Rubley. He never appeared in another NFL game. Although he was on the Broncos roster the following season, he never appeared. But, man, that's one decision that you can't recover from, right? That you get run out of town because you change a coach's decision. That is kind of funny. All right. So feeling good about the Rams this week. Feeling good about the game. Be sure to check us out. That's a morning window game, so no contacting me with scores. I'll be watching it on replay, on delay. I'll probably be about an hour and a half behind. But I do appreciate you guys being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I think we got them worked out. And we hit we went 20 minutes. All right, cool. Hey, guys, have a great Saturday. I do appreciate you hanging out. Manny, Steeler fan, Rob, all the rest of you out there. We'll be talking to you guys really, really soon. All right, guys, God bless.